it's going to be very uniform. It's not going to be anything different. So you're not going to be able to show how funny you are. You're not going to be able to show how great you might be. But 그런 조그만 exercise 통해 가지고 I want to just get the details right. Okay? And obviously, seeing you guys speak, 다 틀려요. Everybody's different. You know? Some of you guys, the first time Martin said was a little bit more nervous, so there was different habits that came out. Second time, you guys were more relaxed, so different side of you came out as well. Right? Same for me. I'm not good at public speaking. I don't enjoy it. I don't like to do it. Doing weddings, I like it because that's something I train for. That's something that I prepare myself for, right? So I know that Martin's really good at it. So, but me, I had to go through training to get there, right? So hopefully that's what we could do as a group. For the next meeting, I'm gonna break down weddings in 3 different parts. First portion, second portion, and third portion. So we're gonna focus on these breakdowns and go over those details. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna email you the assignments, and so what you guys have to prepare next time is when you come back, have those assignments printed out so we can go over it together. And it's not just about weddings, it's about client meetings, how you interact with clients, what do you say to them, how you say it, things like that. And same thing with DJs. Some of the presentation we did, you also have to present yourself to the clients, so you have to be professional at that. That's something that 많은 사람들이 조금 생각을 안 하는 것 같아요. 난 되게 재밌는 사람이고, I'm funny, I'm very outgoing, I'm very outspoken, so I can do this. Or I want to be some comedian, think I'm a. 그런 게 그렇게 중요한 것 같진 않아요. 그런 거 they're all gonna come at the end, right? And then I think you guys could be even better than maybe me or whatever we do, right? So 그런 걸 찾기 전에 let's just define what being a professional master of ceremony is all about. And for weddings, there are certain things you always have to remember. So I'm just gonna ask quick questions. How many of you guys been to a wedding? Okay. How many of you guys been to a wedding where you had an MC and he was terrible? Can you guys tell me why was it so bad?
He doesn't engage the audience that well.
He doesn't engage the audience very well.
Drunk.
He was drunk.
Not him. I only had 2 beers, man.
Any other feedbacks? Bad weddings,
Promoting himself.
promoting himself.
Rather than,
That's a good one. What about good weddings? Some things you really enjoy. You went to a wedding, they had an MC who was really good. What was so good about that MC that made everybody have a good time?
usually the MC can keep the atmosphere, keep it very light.
The atmosphere. Anyone else?
Timing.
Timing. Right. Anyone?
Entertainment.
Entertainment. Right. But for me, weddings, it's a happy day. It's a very special day, right? So for us, you don't have to add too much entertainment to make that day very special. But we do want to add value. And we do want to keep the flow going. We do want to engage the guests. We don't want to be drunk. We want to be professional. We want to present ourselves in a manner that they're going to respect you. Because 그런 게 있어요. If you lose them in the beginning, then you're done. They're not going to respect you. They're not going to listen to you. They're not going to follow your instruction. Just how do you come off, right? So it's your presence, it's your posture, it's your voice, it's your gesture. Everything comes up, right? But the first time you hold a mic, you lose them. Then you're done. It's nothing, you can't get them back, And that's the training process that we're going to have to go, right? What you do during the game time and what different ideas you guys have, we could all work on it together and maybe try different things. Kobe Young does some different games. Barton does some different games. So do I. On those, we don't have to share them right now. We'll go over those for the next workshop. But for the next workshop, basically, it's going to be the first part of the wedding, which is from introduction to dinner time. So I'm going to cut off there, and that part is what we're going to discuss. If I could just get some ideas, because most of you guys have been to weddings, what includes between those, from the entrance to dinner time, what usually happens in
Just
weddings?
announcements.
Just announcements,
Yeah,
okay?
introductions.
Introduction, anything else?
MC introduction, first dance.
First dance?
After they sit down,
Family introduction.
there's a speech.
Okay. So there's a certain flow that comes with them, right? Okay. And there's certain things that you have to change your style about, right? 그리고 bilingual, right? So some parts Korean, some parts English, sometimes you have to flow in and out and things like that. Okay, so that first part of the reception is going to be in detail, and we're going to go over that for the second meeting. After that meeting, it's going to be the second part of the reception, which is dinner time, which is really important. Some of you guys might think dinner time is people just eating food and we don't have to do That's not true. There's a lot of communication that has to be done. So we'll get to that. And the third part, in the last meeting, we'll go over the second part, which is the game, some of the fun stuff that we do, that the guests get involved and things like that. Okay, so hopefully by breaking it down into different parts, it makes your life easier, and we could focus one at a time. And very end, we could go from the beginning to the very end, run through, and I think you guys will be more confident by then. Okay, so I'm not going to be very fun to work with because I just want to be very detail oriented with all these things. So don't take it personally, but starting next workshop, it's going to be tiring, but just there's a lot of repeating that we have to do. It's a lot of work, a lot of homework that you have to prepare. But 그런 게 준비가 안 돼 있으면 it's hard to really for us to know what kind of MC you're going to be. You know, I mean everybody was funny today. Everybody was well dressed. That was great. But to be an MC, to be a professional, to be a master of ceremony, you guys have to have a program, you have to have a script, you have to kind of have that presentation ready. So that's what we're going to work on building. And it's going to be a little bit tough. Sometimes I might have to give a couple pointers, but don't take it personally. And we're going to try to keep it light. But 준비하는 마음이 너무 중요한 것 같아요. It's about how much effort you're going to put in. I have to practice in front of mirrors. So like 계속 2-3시간씩, stand and see myself. How do I do it? The recording always helps a lot too. So 그런 거 하나하나씩 해가면서 준비해가지고 hopefully by the last meeting we could all see each other doing the program and get feedbacks and by then you guys should have 오늘 하셨던 것보다 아마 정말 크게 바뀌어져 있을 거예요. I promise you that. The first recording we have and the last one we're going to do, you guys are going to notice so much of a difference. So look forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to try to keep it fun, but at the same time, if you're not going to put in the work, it's just not going to work. So I just want you guys to have that in your mind. And I know that Martin and Kobe 형님 is going to help out with that, and they're going to share their years of experience, and that's going to be helping you guys a lot as well. So hope to see you guys next time.
I think we all know why Young is so good at what he does. He's definitely a very technical kind of guy, and he has some great insight. There was a show, it's called Tee It Up, it's a golf channel, and it was about 2 years ago, and Tiger Woods was hosting a skills tutoring TV show, and he was pretty much teaching about his golf game. And then he brought in Anthony Kim as the co-host. You guys know Anthony Kim, right? He almost was good. Anyway, at one point, though, he was going to be the next Tiger Woods, both sponsored by Nike. And they were talking about hitting his 6-iron. Tiger hits his 6-iron like 210 yards, and he was saying mechanic. He's like 44 degrees, and the wind's blowing this way. I open my toe about 2 inches, and then when I see if there's water to this side, I kind of lift my shoulder 1 centimeter, and I over gripped, and then I put about 2 ounces of pressure, and I tilt it this way. And then on the way down, I always think about the path of the ball because the wind right there hits my ear. So I know where it's going. And then as I hit it, I control it with my pinky. My 2 pinkies actually control the club. So I know which kind of spin to put on the ball. That's Tiger Woods. Right? And then he goes, how about you, Anthony? How do you do it? And Anthony Kim just goes, I just feel it, man. He goes, that day, if it's a Saturday, if I feel good, I don't know, I can't explain it. I just go with the flow. I just hit it because I feel that. Okay? Does that mean that Tiger Woods sucks? It doesn't, right? Does that mean that Anthony Kim sucked? It doesn't, because he was ranked top 10 at one point. My point is that Young and I were totally different golfers. Okay? Young is the Tiger Woods. Young is the guy that will make you memorize a script and have a very detailed point-to-point guideline so that you are fail-proof, that you won't fail. I have my training in different aspects. When it comes to emceeing, I'm a lot more of a feel guy. Okay, if this audience is a fun audience, I become the fun guy. If this audience is more of a very strict audience, I go strict way. And I know some of you have seen me MC. So the point is that there's not really a right or wrong way. But right now, in my position, I actually learn from Young as well. Because what Young provides is a fail-proof system to be able to comfortably be a good MC. And I know that some of you have seen me MC before, and in the very beginning, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. I purposely do that. I come in and I kind of do this thing. That's actually practiced. So that's my usual introduction, because that makes people laugh a little bit. So the point is, everybody needs a script. Everybody needs a pattern away, and then you make it your own style. So, Young's really, really good at that. And he brought up two really key points that you guys talked about, connecting and energy. There's nothing more important as an MC to connect with the audience. You can be the best speaker, you can have the best voice and the best presence. If you lose the audience, you're done. You're done. It's really hard to get that back, okay? And Shine as a team, we use the word energy about 40 times throughout the way. Because we're really, really big on energy, right? It's all about the roller coaster. We have this graph, we'll teach you next time. But we always take the energy really high, and during dinner time we raise it low. High energy is not always good. When someone's making a speech, you actually want low energy, right? It gets to the point where the energy is driven by the DJs, because it's all about music, right? I bet you if I told you to cry right now, it might be hard for you. But if I tell, hey, Alan, play me some good music, I bet it's easier to cry. That's because people are very driven by music. That's why the DJ is so important at a wedding or any event. With that said, the energy level is controlled for us by music. So if you feel that that 분위기 is like 약간 정신없어, 너무 시끄러워, right? And then he's playing some jazz. That makes it worse. Jazz makes people go a little faster because there's a lot of high sound. Ting, 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 ting. Those things, 더 시끄러워져. 그럴 때는 we actually tell the DJs, hey, turn the energy down, and we go more of a piano or a lesser, slower beat, kind of like that. So, which leads us beautifully to our next point is about the DJs. Just as important as we are, the DJs back us up, and they're the ones that do all the hard work behind the scenes. So we're gonna have Mike come out. He's gonna, because I know that some of you two, I'll just say, you two here can't because you're more interested in becoming DJs, right? Although I definitely see you guys being good in front of people, which is really good. In the other way, some of us may be interested in becoming DJs as well. So I'm gonna have him just talk a little bit about what the DJ process is. It's definitely not easy. It's not just playing. Everyone thinks, oh, nowadays iTunes. Although you guys use that and stuff. But, so we'll have Michael come out.
All right. I'll do it real quick. I know we're kind of short for time, but what's going? Yeah, I started getting into DJing because I went to my friends' weddings and they had just the worst DJs. And I'm sure you guys have been to weddings. You're like, the music sucks. They're missing the cues, all that stuff. So yeah, there's two in particular. And I was there and I was like, man, I can do better than this. Not that I'm like, so Alan and I are really different because he grew up like a club DJ. So he would do parties and he's legit. For me, I just approach it in a more event production way. So because I'm the worship leader, I'm definitely always in tune with services and music, transitions and flow. So I'm actually pretty weak as far as mixing, getting the songs, the dance time. I pretty much have a set couple of transitions. Sam and David have gone to my weddings and I always play the same songs with the same transitions and it works. So I'm very cookie cutter with that, but I think I excel with the whole day, the production, making sure everyone's cues, all of the songs, and the video and all that stuff's lined up. So for Johan, Sam, David's starting to get this down. Three things we're looking for Shine DJs is first technical know-how. Al and I, we set up sound systems, lighting, video, and so you guys have to really understand in and out signal flow, how to set up, not just, it's not good enough for you to be like, well, I'm really good at hip-hop scratching DJing. That's not enough. We set up full sound systems, full lighting, full video, screens, projectors, cable runs, so really knowing that in and out is crucial. If you can't do that, you can't be a Shine DJ, right? If you're not willing to learn that, you can't be a Shine DJ. Johan, you said you do church worship leading? That's really good because David and I, that's how we got into it, Sam as well. Our church, we set up every Sunday. We worship at a school, so every week we're setting up speakers, projectors, lights. So doing that makes wedding, Shine work really natural. It was a really natural transition. I had to learn how to scratch, but setting up speakers, all that stuff was very easy. So that's the first thing we're looking for, technical know-how. Also, when something goes wrong, man, Al and I, we've had so many weddings where we're like, oh, we just need one cable, right? Or one converter, and we just don't have that. But because we understand our systems, we can troubleshoot, right? And if you don't understand that, if you're saying, well, Michael showed me exactly how to do it, and if you can't, you need to be able to problem solve and troubleshoot. So having technical know-how is really important. Second thing, sense and flow. The reason why Martin liked me was not because I could scratch like anyone. At that time, I just used iTunes, actually, for that first one, right? But he liked the fact that I could sense the mood and sense where he was going and follow the MC, right? And after that, Martin would do, and Kobe would do weddings with non-Shine DJs, and it's so 힘들어 because the DJ doesn't follow him. Like, there's a lot of clashing, right? But for the DJs, what we want to do is help the MCs really be successful. And so for you guys as DJs to really sense that and play the right music at the right time and be ready for their transition. Man, sometimes Kobe, he just goes dance game time and I'm like, oh. But I'm ready to go for him now, right? I'm ready to go because I have playlists now. So one thing that's really helped me is I have playlists for every genre, every mood, every event that we do at Shine. I have game music, I have oldies, I've got dance games, I've got jazz, singer-songwriter, all these different lists. So that helps me pick the right mood, the right music for the right time. That's really important. And that's a little bit artistic. That's not as technical. It's more of an art, but you guys will feel that the more you do that. And third thing is preparation and discipline. This is huge for Shine DJs. There's that saying that says, luck favors the prepared. So nothing is worse than not having a song, not having a cable, not having, or being late to an event. I know that for some of you guys, we're battling through traffic to 10 Alhambra. It sucks, but Shine guys, when we're late to events, it really creates a lot of undue stress to coordinators, brides, the rest of the wedding vendors. And so that's one thing we really want to stress. Being early, being ready to go. And so you've got to put significant time into preparing your playlist. The night before weddings, I'm up at night like practicing my DJ transitions and prepping my playlist. I buy music I personally don't like, but I have to buy it. So I'm always on iTunes listening and looking for the new hot dance songs because, when girls ask for it, you want to say yes. And so there's that, like David and I, we talk all that, like David's the new Shine and DJ, and so I'm not stressed just for myself, but for him, and I'm always asking, do you have the right cables, do you have everything? He's like, yes. I'm like his mom, but I always say, take extra. I always take an extra video converter, extra cables, extra power, just because, we have to be ready for anything. And I'm sure Alan has some horror stories. I definitely have some. But those are three things that we're really looking for, Johan and Sam. Technical know-how, a sense and feel, and then the discipline to really put everything together, put the work in, double check, because, MCs, you guys make it fun. You guys make the thing flow. DJs, we either ruin it or we just let it go. Because even, there's that temptation. You guys know, sometimes I know they're in a speech and it's so bad, I just want to, we have the power to stop it, to turn it on, to turn on music and everything and I get so, but we really have that power to mess up a transition, to mess up a moment, to leave the MC hanging. And so we're behind the scenes, but we're controlling everything. So there's a lot of responsibility. But because we've been able to do this well, we kind of started with a foundation of DJ, MC, and we hope that you guys would really be able to do that. And I think some of you guys might end up being great MC or DJs as well. So that's pretty much us in a nutshell. And yeah, sometimes we can make more money than the MC. So.
Hey, man. Thank you, Michael. He's absolutely right. There were times in the very, very beginning. This happened more with Alan. Because we just sort of threw Alan into the Lions Den, but right now, if you saw our gigs, they look so perfectly produced. There are certain words that I say that these guys know what I'm talking about. So there's a certain trigger word that means, oh, Mark wants a soft song right now. We have this language down, and it's beautiful. But there was a point in time where I'll be like, in front of people, because we just didn't sing, but that takes a lot of gelling, a lot of practicing, and he nailed it on that. Right now, I actually charge more for MC only, because I don't like to work with other DJs, because I actually work a lot harder, because I have to go to a meeting and do this and tell them this, tell them that, and there's always the 불안한 because if he misses you up, you look horrible. At the end of the day, guys, the MC takes the blame for a lot of the things. Okay. I know he barely touched on the whole the making money part, We'll get to that way down the road.